Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite_UK. Sign up to explore the power, strategies, and relentless effort together.
I can clearly sense that rugby in New Zealand has always been regarded as a cultural symbol. Competitions like Super Rugby Pacific are not just arenas for players to compete, they are also environments where they cultivate resilience, skills, and tactical thinking. When a player maintains consistent performance in such a demanding setting, it shows that their success relies not only on natural talent but also on persistent effort. I was particularly struck by Stephen Donald's observation that Jordie Barrett's progress doesn't necessarily come solely from his time playing in Europe. In fact, Barrett did spend a period playing for Leinster Rugby, and many believe that this international experience helped him become more complete. However, from my own perspective, the more crucial factor is the natural development process of an athlete. I believe that everyone reaches a stage where physical capability, experience, and intellect align perfectly. In sports, this phase often occurs in the late 20s or early 30s.
For Jordie Barrett, at the age of 29, I feel that he is entering precisely this stage. This makes me reflect deeply. Success doesn't always come from sudden change. Sometimes it comes from steadily improving day by day. I find the saying, the older you get, the smarter you become, very meaningful. In sports, tactical intelligence can sometimes be just as important as physical strength. If the body remains fit enough to keep up with the mind, an athlete can improve year by year. From my personal perspective, this is a message worth reflecting on, not just in sports but in life in general. I am also impressed by the fact that, although Barrett is holding an almost guaranteed position in the New Zealand national rugby union team, other players are still working tirelessly to compete. This shows that a healthy competitive environment can help everyone improve. In this case, teams like the Hurricanes, Highlanders, and Chiefs serve as training grounds that help players develop. Looking at Timoci Tavatavanawai, I truly admire the way he exerts a major influence within the Highlanders lineup.
There are many talented players, but not everyone can make a game seem like it revolves around them. From my perspective, this is a sign of a player with a strong personality and the ability to change the course of a match. Stephen Donald's comparison with Jordie Savia also makes me think deeply. Savia was once seen as the soul of Moana Pacifica, and when another player is compared to that level of influence, it indicates the magnitude of their impact on the team. However, I also recognize that rugby is not an individual sport. Even if a player has a huge influence, victories are always the result of collective effort. This makes me reflect that in life, no matter how talented a person may be, they still need the support and cooperation of those around them. When it comes to Quinn Tupaea, I see a different picture, a player with a balance of strength and technique. From what is described, he seems to combine Barrett's all-around skills with Tavatavanawai's direct power. This makes me realize that in sports, as in life, diversity in style and ability can create rich tactical options.
I also find it fascinating to consider the luxury the All Blacks have. Not every team in the world has so many quality options for the same position. This shows that New Zealand's player development and training system is highly effective. I draw a very important lesson: competition is not inherently negative. On the contrary, when built on respect and effort, competition can drive everyone forward. From a fan's perspective, I believe we also have a responsibility to view athletes fairly and positively. Instead of only comparing who is better, we can appreciate the effort and contribution of each individual. Every player has their own story, and each story deserves respect. I also realize that in any field, from sports to academics or work, we can apply the same lessons: persistence in practice, respect for competitors, continuous learning, and maintaining a growth mindset. And for me personally, this is the most profound lesson: if we continue to strive, continue to learn, and continue to trust our own development process, over time, everyone can become a better version of themselves.
Be persistent, keep learning, and respect the journey, whether in sports or in life. See you again.